Hello, everyone. June 10th, 2022. A little article here. Since I'm paying attention to this, I'm being retired. See if I can find my pointer. He's disappeared. Oh, there he is. This is written by Christopher Rugeber, reported on many other channels. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I am going to do my interpretation. Because as a retired person who doesn't get out much anymore, and there is so many things, I was going to say so much, there are so many things going on that this is about the safest thing I can comment on, because this is something you all know. I believe it was today the CPI came out, which is the Consumer Price Index. It's the highest in 40 years. As we all know, the prices of gas, food, and most other goods and services jumped in May, raising inflation to a new 4-decade high, giving American households no respite from rising costs. Fortunately, at my age, I don't really need to buy much. I just need to get rid of the junk I got and get ready for the old folks' home. Consumer prices surged 8.6% in the month of May compared to May 2021. And I just wrote over my one poor lonely CD I got for 0.3%. So I'm not keeping up. But I got a plan. Don't buy anything, and then it don't affect you. And I'm always on a diet. I eat healthy, but I don't eat much because I feel like remember those air ferns they used to sell? You didn't have to water them. You didn't have to do anything to them. Squirt them with a little moisture every once in a while, and they would grow. That's how I feel when I eat a meal. I feel myself growing. On a month-to-month basis, prices jumped 1% from April to May, and this is 2022, much faster than the 0.3% increase from March to April. So, like I said, that thing renewed at 0.3%. Guess the banks have got to stay in business. Oh, and this is not mentioned here, but the 10-year bond today, in other words, if you invest in a 10-year treasury bond, tying your money up for 10 years, at my age, that don't sound too correct. They're only offering 3%. And in these volatile times, I don't know who would be doing that. I even think the Fed, according to what I've heard from the little bird, is they are selling treasury bonds. So I don't expect prices to be going much anywhere unless you're buying and borrowing. Friday's report, which is today, underscores fears that inflation is spreading well beyond energy and goods. The prices are being driven up by the clogged supply chains. And I'll let you read that right there. It also sent stock prices tumbling. I think the Dow is down like 800 points today. It's 5:30. The markets are closed, which is about where they opened. And now it's the weekend. Virtually every sector has higher than normal inflation. This information is coming from Global Economic Research at Bank of America. And oh, by the way, it's not in this article, but JP Morgan Chase says they're expecting a lot of volatility in the next year. See, gas prices rose, I don't have to tell any of you this, 4% just in 1 month from May. And only 50% in 1 year. Was $2.50 this time last year? That was like $5.39. Oh, there it is. $5.40. Groceries surged 12% from a year earlier. Unless you're buying milk, eggs, meat, baby formula. I don't go out to eat. I cook all my own meals, but restaurant prices up 7.4% in the past year, if they're still open. And I think a Whataburger, I haven't been there. I hear it's the best burger in the world. They opened up one here in town. It's like $15 for a double cheeseburger and fries. Oh, and employers. See, I got out of the business and I think I officially retired in 2018. I saw this coming. Their employees, they can't keep up with inflation. If you got a 15-hour job and you have to drive 45 minutes one way, you're better off to stay home and open up a YouTube channel. And I don't get any government stimulus because I'm single and no children. I know for a fact housing costs are climbing, especially here in Lee Summit. If you could find something to buy, but they're going rental. So I looked at all these new little communities, kind of like what they do on college campuses now. You know, you can get a 1-bedroom, a studio, 2-bedroom for like $1,300 a month, and you're renting. Let's see. I'll let you read this for yourself. Let's see. In light of today's inflation reading, the Fed is all but certain to implement the fastest series of interest rate hikes in 3 decades. I am not so sure of that. Now, that's what the Fed wants to do, but the stock market might not want to do that. And that doesn't mean your bank is going to give you any more for your CD because they have the building, they have the exposure, they have the employees, they have the maintenance. They're saying on June 14th, right here, by 0.5 point. Doesn't mean your bank has to give it to you. It just means that when bank borrows from bank, or the bank borrows from the Federal Reserve overnight, that's what the new numbers are. Oh, let's see. What if I click on this? What'll happen? Let's see. Supposedly, the port of Los Angeles is moving cargo at a record amount, but we still have empty shelves, higher prices. Let's see. This guy had to take a second job. $800 a month. Trust. Oh, that's a week. I only get $800 a month. Social Security is dirt poor. With the food, gas, and rent, he's working a lot of overtime. And a report from the World Bank this week made clear that high inflation is a global problem that threatens to slow economies around the world. Inflation fueled by rising food fuel prices hit a record 18.1 last month. European central banks will raise interest rates for the first time in 11 years. Some large retailers, Target, Walmart, Macy's, is Macy's still in business? Are now stuck with too much patio furniture, electronics, because there's no demand. So it's cutting prices, which means that's deflationary. You can lower the price all you want if nobody's buying it. It says here Americans may have soured on the economy, but they kept up their spending. I heard they were maxing out their credit cards. Why they would do that at 18% interest, I don't know. Must be something in the water. How long these trends of higher wages, extra savings, and rising card debt, how will it keep the Americans to keep buying? Let's see, let's close this thing up. Research by the Bank of America Institute, which uses, get this, uses anonymous, try to catch it. I don't want to be caught. Oh, there we go. How can they do this? I thought my information was private. Bank of America uses anonymous data from millions of their customers' credit and debit cards, shows gasoline eating up a large share of their budget. For lower income households, defined as those with an income below $50,000 a year, nearly 10% of all spending is on the credit and debit cards, and that it was up 7.5%. So if they're not paying their card off every month and they're paying 18% interest, that's not going to end well. Let's see. Here's Andrew McConnell speaking for small businesses still struggling. He's the founder of Love Market and Cafe in LA. Of course, I escaped. I never went to LA. I can't imagine what it's like there, outside of being extremely hot today. Says he's paying more for food supplies, workers, and reusable bags, which used to cost him 23 cents, but now costs 45 cents. I guess he's talking about reusable bags. I always take my own cloth, cotton. I got a couple from the past, even says organic on them. Okay. Their famous sandwich, the chicken BLT, is now 20% higher. That's what I told you. Whataburger. I can cook one pretty cheap at home. But, you don't ever see anybody. That's why I make these videos. So I can keep talking. I mean, sometimes I go days at a time and don't say anything. Every product is impacted. Every aspect of the business is affected. And so goes the report, in my opinion, for June 10th, 2020. Thank you, and I will be back.